Welcome back to US News Briefs. If you are on an H-1B or applying this year, everything changes next month. And I am not kidding, folks. We are talking about some of the biggest shifts to the U.S. immigration landscape we've seen in years. This is going to hit H-1B hopefuls, employers, and pretty much anyone waiting for a green card. So let's get right into it.
All right, first up, the headline news. The H-1B cap lottery, well, the one we've all known for years, it's gone. Poof. It's been totally torn down and rebuilt into something completely different from the old random draw.
And get this, the speed of this rollout is just insane. The final rule only dropped at the very end of last year, right? It officially becomes law on February 27th, and then boom, it's going to be used for the lottery just a few days later in March. That's left everyone scrambling, with basically no time to figure out a new game plan. So the million-dollar question for thousands of you is, how does this new system actually work? You know, it really all comes down to just one thing: your salary. Okay, so here's the core of it. The H-1B lottery is no longer a game of pure luck. Not at all. With this new weighted system, your chances, your actual odds of getting picked, are now tied directly to how much you're getting paid. It's all based on these things called prevailing wage levels, which are basically just the government's data on average salaries for certain jobs in certain places. This chart really lays out the new math, and it's pretty simple to see what's happening. You see those 4 levels from the Department of Labor? A level 1 wage, that's your typical entry-level job, gets you just 1 ticket in the lottery. Level 2 gets you 2 tickets. Level 3 gets you 3. And a level 4 wage, the highest tier, gets you a whopping 4 entries. The advantage for higher salaries is literally baked right into the rules. And the result of this, it's stark. There's no other way to put it. If you're an applicant with a level 1 wage offer, your odds of getting selected are now the lowest they have ever been in the history of the H-1B. I mean, think about it. Someone with a top-tier salary has, quite literally, a 400% better shot at getting picked. It's a whole new ballgame. So what does all this mean in the real world? Well, first, if you're a recent grad or in an entry-level position, you're facing a massive uphill battle, no question. Second, for employers, you might be thinking, hey, let's just offer a higher salary to get picked. But be careful. USCIS has already said they'll be watching for that kind of manipulation and will deny or even revoke petitions. And one really important thing to remember, this only affects the new H-1B cap lottery. If you're filing an extension or a transfer, you're not affected by this. That's a huge relief for a lot of people. Hit the like button if you think the wage-based system favors big tech over startups. We want to know your thoughts.
All right, shifting gears now, and you'll see that these big changes aren't just limited to H-1Bs. While all this was happening, the State Department quietly, almost under the radar, put a full stop on issuing new immigrant visas. We're talking green cards for people from 75 different countries. Okay, let's be super clear about this right off the bat, because I don't want anyone to panic. This pause is only for immigrant visas, the ones that lead to a green card. It does not affect non-immigrant visas. So if you're in line for an H-1B, an F-1 student visa, or even a tourist visa, you can breathe easy. This policy doesn't touch you.
And the sheer scale of this is wow. We're talking about 75 countries. 75! Countries like Brazil, Russia, Nigeria, Pakistan, they're all on the list. This isn't some small surgical action. It's a massive, sweeping change to global policy.
So you're probably asking why? Why the sudden stop? Well, the official word from the State Department is that they're doing a full review of something called the Public Charge Rule. Now, that's a rule that's been around forever, and it's designed to flag anyone who might end up needing government assistance. The stated goal here is to make sure immigrants from these countries can support themselves financially. So if you're one of the people affected by this, your application is basically stuck in purgatory. You can still submit everything, you can even go to your interview, but right at the very end, when you're supposed to get the visa, your case gets hit with a temporary refusal. It's put on hold for administrative processing until this whole review is finished. It's an incredibly frustrating spot to be in.
And finally, let's wrap up by looking at the latest numbers for everyone who's already deep in the green card process. We've got the February 2026 Visa Bulletin right here, so let's check out those wait times. Okay, if you look at the main employment-based categories, the backlog for applicants from India it's just staggering. The dates are still stuck back in 2013. Let that sink in. That's a wait of more than a decade. For China, the dates are a bit better, but still back in 2021. And even for the rest of world category, we're now seeing backlogs that are a couple of years long.
So what's the big picture here?
The bottom line is nothing's really moving. The massive backlogs that have been choking the system for years are still there. And for so many people, that finish line just isn't getting any closer. Subscribe for daily updates as we track the February Visa Bulletin movement.